Yeah.
Then follow up to that, then how do we again have a successful campaign as you had in 1980?
Well, the other secret of my campaign in 1980 was I had some money.
Right, you had
Right, and that is a key secret. And it's not a secret because everybody knows that money is key in politics. And so for libertarians, there are two ways to have, and you need to spend $2 or $3 million at least after fundraising collections to make any kind of big display on the national. What did Bob Barr raise? 700,000?
No, it was over $1 million.
Right.
$1.4 million, I think.
What?
$1.4 million, $1.5 million.
Yeah. In any event, you need to get up to several $1 million before you create a real splash. There are only, in my view, two ways to do it. One is to get a candidate who's got the money, and another is to get a vice presidential candidate to run a joint campaign. And so that's what you need for the money. And then you need an organization. And I had Ed Crane, who's a very good organizer, and I'd run for governor, so I had a little bit of organization here. And I've been active in the party from the beginning, so I had some friends around the country. My wife is very, very well organized, and that was a big help. And so you need an organization, and you need some money, and then you need a candidate who's going to deal with the issues. Because like David Berglund, who's a longtime friend of mine, who's a very true libertarian and a very wonderful person, never thought that when you campaign for office you need to talk about the issues. You ought to talk about libertarian principles. Okay, so libertarian principles and talking about them will convert a few people who are really into philosophy and sustained, interconnected, rational thinking. But we need a mass party in order to make a bigger impression. And so to build a mass party, you have to talk about major issues that people are interested in. And so you have to be able to talk about the Farm Bill and why the Farm Bill is a disaster, because all the money goes to rich farmers and does nothing but raise the price of food for the poor people in the cities. So it's an evil disaster. It hurts the small farmers and it hurts the poorest people in our society. We shouldn't have a law that hurts the poorest people in our society. We ought to get rid of the Farm Bill. And if you can't talk about legislation like that, then you really can't talk about the issues. And so if you're going to be a successful candidate, I think you have to be able to talk about the issues that people are interested in. So you need organization, you need money, and you need to not only stay true blue to your philosophy, but you need to deal with the issues that are important to people in terms of your philosophy. Yeah.
Would you say that Obama's essential takeover of the country and, all-out assault on capitalism and, headlong rush into what looks like it's going to be a dictatorship if we don't stop pretty soon, creates more opportunities for libertarians? Because essentially he's challenging libertarian principles fundamentally. That's his platform. And a lot of people don't like that. And I'm wondering if you think that there's hope that we can get something going for ourselves as a result of that discontent.
I'm not sure whether there is or not. Okay, there are a lot of people who are angry, right? But I'm not sure that we are capable of reaching out to them and mobilizing. I don't know that. I look upon Obama as, he's 20 degrees left of Hillary Clinton. And he's not a Stalin, he's not a Lenin. And I'm not into the theory that he's going to line people up against the wall and shoot them because they say capitalism is great. So it's a bad thing, in a bad direction. It's going to make more people dependent on government. It's going to tell everybody that if you want to do something stupid, now it's more likely the government will bail you out. So we're encouraging you to do something stupid. So it's a bad thing for the character of the American people. It's a bad thing for the economy. But it's not, it's not Leningrad 1917.
Well, I mean, Geithner wants now to have
Huh?
power. Geithner now wants to have the power casually given to him without hardly a thought to go in and dictate to companies what they can pay their executives for no, particularly strong reason. And he doesn't see anything
No.
unusual about that.
His rationale is that we, the federal government, loaned you the money.
No, he wants to go beyond that.
He has gone beyond it? Okay.
Yes, he doesn't care about whether the companies have gotten federal money or not. He wants to go beyond that and be able to regulate executive salaries on the part of private, peaceful companies that have not gotten any government money.
As a preventative measure.
Yeah, if he thinks that maybe that might destabilize the economy in any way.
It's just been real recent.
Yeah,
it's been very recently, but it's awfully serious.
That is serious. And
It undermines the entire concept of a free society
absolutely.
and personal property.
Right. So I think we should be serious and very upset and passionate about opposing his program. And whether or not we can tie into other groups that may be far away from us on many issues, I don't know. Probably Kevin has got a better idea of that than I do.
And with what you're talking about here, it brings to mind when you say that to people, especially from a candidate standpoint, the next sentence out of their mouth is, well, if you don't like Obama's program, what do you want to do? Go back to the Bush stuff? And it's like, yeah, and so you have a massive, well, then what are you going to do? And it puts you on the spot like, well, if you don't like Obama's, and what are you going to do? So
we're going to put the American people back in charge. We're going to get the government out of this whole problem. The government created the problem. There never would been this credit bubble without the Federal Reserve keeping money, interest rates too low, push the banks into bad loans. The whole Republican and Democratic Party were designed of forcing the banks to loan money to people who couldn't afford it. President Obama, when he was a poverty worker in Chicago, was suing banks to force them to loan money to his constituency in Southside Chicago who couldn't afford to buy houses on their own. So the government has created this credit bubble, and they're the problem. We're going to get the government out of it, and we'll all be better off. Doesn't answer.
So just answer with what I've already said before. Less government.